We found him, trainers. We found the real MVP of Fantasy Cup. So we're just gonna have so much action today with a Flygon team, and most of the times we're gonna face very bad leads on this video. So stay tuned till the end because we're looking at a pretty scary team even against bad lead scenarios. So our Pokemon here is mainly afraid of the fairy types, but still the MVP is the MVP for a reason, because we're gonna use Scorching Sands here, which can debuff even the worst case opponent, and at this point we can also catch on our Azumarill the following player off, which is pretty great. So now with our Azumarill coming into the battle, we managed to get out of there a Flygon, and that makes me think that perhaps they have the unusual double dragon team. So here comes their own Flygon. All we have to do here is to go ahead and throw the ice beams, and another Scorching Sands is imminent. I was hoping to survive it, but unfortunately for me I cannot do that, and now my Dragon Claw will do so much damage on them. So down they go. They want to preserve the shield for the final Pokemon. I can only expect something like another Dragon type, but first I need to use some energy to get rid of that Azumarill. With the Azu out of the way, now we have the Turtonator coming in, and of course we're just gonna go for the Scorching Sands to try and apply the debuff, but of course that is gonna be only a chance of that. So here comes now my Focus Blast for massive damage on their end, but still not lethal. I'm just gonna take the risk here. Even if that's an overhit, we still have a little bit of HP remaining on our Flygon, but instead they cannot even farm down. So with those horrible IVs that we have on our Registeel, we managed to survive with a couple of HP remaining, and we can get yet another huge victory. Into the next battle now, and we're having this amazing Empoleon up against us. This is a spicy Pokemon overall for the meta, and they follow up with their Ferrothorn, so they are kinda weak to the fighters. Okay, we have though no fighter at all, so sometimes some teams make zero sense at all, but my opponent here might actually have a plan even against that scenario. We're not gonna find it right here, that plan that they might have, because of the zero fighting options that we have on our team, but still, look at that. They have kind of a very good lead against our Flygon. They have a very good switch in with that Ferrothorn, and even though they're weak to fighting, they have nothing to fear from our team. So down they go eventually before I use another shield here, and here comes now my Scorching Sands on their end. They also have now a Granbull, so this is their anti-fighting Pokemon, and this is how you can predict teams sometimes. They definitely needed that extra coverage, right? So their plan against the fighter up in front would be most probably to sacrifice the Empoleon and at least get a shield out of the way, but yeah, all we have to do here though is to rely on our Registeel and absolutely grab the big victory. So here comes now the Focus Blast to one-shot down the Penguin, the King Penguin, the Triton, and now with the Granbull at the back, all we have to do is to catch on the 8th charm, and we can do exactly that. So down goes that Granbull eventually with that final Zap Cannon. Registeel with the clutch, Trash victory, and yeah, the Metal Trash Can, they're delivering some pure content that nobody's gonna like. Anyways, it's all about Flygon in this video. Let's see what we have going on into the next one, because Slurpuff is obviously gonna be a Pokemon that can break down this team if we are not careful at all. So here comes now the move, and of course after the debuff we still need to block. So at the back now they have the Escavalier coming in. I'm just gonna overfarm a bit and now switch out to my Azumarill, because we might not have Hydro Pump, but still our typing is absolutely insane, and our bulk as well. We can survive 2 of those drill runs, which is pretty good if you ask me, and now with the play rough we can do so much damage at their end. Almost missed here the excellent, actually not almost, I missed it. I don't know why, but still it worked. We managed to farm down. I'm not sure if at that point I was thinking about it, but anyways, now at the back they have the Sandslash, and I'm just gonna get my hands on the play rough. Switching out now to my Flygon, trying to make them think that I go for a double combo to finish them off. Instead they use a shield on my Dragon Claw. This was super smart, I believe, from my end, and now we have the Scorching Sands to destroy down the remaining HP that they have. They also had the shield, but they wanted to risk it, and that risk was not worth at all. Now that Slurpuff emerges into the battle, we have the Scorching Sands once again, no debuff on their end, and all we have to do here is to go into the battle with our Registeel. With that in mind now, all I want to do here is to get that double flamethrower on my end, and I will also try to catch here, but I cannot do that. Will that next one knock out? We will never know, but still we managed to grab the victory with that final lock-on. Because we were not even on the yellow HP, I can figure out that another flamethrower could be easily manageable by our Registeel, so yeah, that was actually playable. Into the next one now, and we're having another Slurpuff, but this time on the switch. So Azumarill going in, we can survive pretty much whatever they throw here after that first debuff, and that's why I enjoy Flygon. I decided to get rid of my legacy Earth power only because I can use Scorching Sands and get a chance at debuffing my opponent, so yeah, definitely a move that I do not regret at all. Flygon now returns to the battle, we have another Ice Beam ready to go, and this time we can definitely grab at least a shield out of the way. Now switching out to my own Flygon in order to push them to use more of them shields, and with those shields out of the way, perhaps Registeel can eventually become the ultimate closer for our team. Now that we have the shield advantage, even against a fairy type, we can send victorious, and I'm gonna stay in here just a little bit more, trying to go ahead and debuff their Azumarill. So they're gonna throw here the move, and you know what, I'm just gonna keep the shield for the end game anyways. So here comes now my Registeel, and of course we can always outspeed here to the Zap Cannon. I was thinking about shielding, but then it hit me, Ganeto, why shield even a Hydro Pump when they have a ground type Pokemon which can almost one-shot you down? So this is what I did exactly, and at this point I'm just trying to catch here the move on my Azumarill. It ends up being a Ground Claw under charging, which is pretty smart by them, gaining back there some extra energy for themselves, but right after we're already on the CMP, so Focus Blast will deal more than enough damage on their end, and Flygon is out of the way. Into the next battle now with the Skarmory up in front, another bad lead for us. Anything we throw here is gonna be resisted, while all they can do is throw neutral moves, and we're kinda glassy, so we do not like our odds at all. Down the switch, we're meeting up with that Slurpuff, which is pretty troublesome, but see what I did there? All of the time you have to get your hands on your Azumarill and that Hydro Pump bait, because your opponent might actually block, and since they blocked here, we're having kinda the upper hand. So at this point we're gonna go down to the Energy Ball, and as you can see here, we can easily go in with the Flygon, getting the advantage of those shields, and of course right after we can get out of here with all that energy remaining. However, we managed to spend a shield at this point, which was not expected at all. I was trying to completely farm down. I think I miscalculated the moment, but at the freaking back they have a Pokemon like Azumarill, which is also weak to Registeel. So what is the plan here? What would you do, trainer, against the Registeel? So some teams do not make sense, but still you can see how you can play around those teams as well. So Zap Cannon now from our Metal Trash Can to finish off that poor Azumarill, and they want to leave all of their hopes on that Skarmory. Can they do it though? Because Sky Attack is imminent, and at some point they will still need to get their hands on that Brave Bird, debuffing themselves, which is gonna be the ideal scenario for my Hyperion going in, and Flygon can use simply just an Earth Power, which is resisted, but after the debuff of the Brave Bird is just gonna be enough to finish off even the Skarmory. With that said though, we're just gonna reach the Zap Cannon, just analyzing another scenario that could have been the worst one for us, and we could still win anyways. Now let's head into the next battle, as we're facing another Flygon in the mirror, but this time with a twist. They are Shadow, which means whoever gets that round clone on the other side is most probably gonna end up getting the knockout as well, because we're looking at two pretty glassy Pokemon. One is Shadow, so extra damage around. So at this point we're just gonna try and catch at the same time on our Azumarill, and yeah, this is kinda funny, but still we can manage somehow with our own play rough. It all depends now on who might have the worst Azumarill, because the worst Azumarill is gonna have also at the same time the higher attack stat, so that Azumarill can can also beat the other one on those CMPs. As you can see here, we managed to get on those player ups, but no player ups at all on that CMP scale, so we're just gonna go ahead and try to switch out here. The switch will never happen at all, and now I'm gonna get my hands on that player up. As it seems, I have the worst Azumarill around, and now at the back they have a Slurpuff. Here comes now my player up, and of course we're just gonna do some decent damage on their end, switching out now to my own Flygon after they reveal their own one. And yeah, as you can see here, we managed to one-shot them down, and in return we managed to get that Slurpuff up against us to use that energy. All I have to do at this point is to come into the battle with my Azumarill, make them throw some extra energy, and in the process perhaps now we can have the ultimate sweeping scenario with a Registeel. They realize that even a double flamethrower will not be enough to finish us off. It will be close but not enough, and we can get that win. Another fairy type up in front, but this one carries the move Fire Fang, which is pretty great for us, and on the switch we're meeting up with another steel type, but this time Sandslash. So I'm just gonna respond with my Registeel here, because I have a feeling that my other two Pokemon can somehow handle whatever remains at the freaking back, most probably something like a fighter, and of course Mawile is no big at all for my Azumarill as well. So at this point I'm just gonna try to make them throw the remaining energy they have. They try to go for some baits in the process, which is kinda weird, but still they get some energy back. And of course we have now the 2 Shield Flex up against 0 shields, which is pretty great for our Flygon. I'm just gonna get my hands here to some extra farm and then throw the Scorching Suns. At this point I'm expecting them to go out of the way as soon as possible, and Azumarill will be at the back. So 0 fighter at all, but still we have that shield advantage, which we can definitely work around with our Azumarill as well, being able to go into the battle after we debuff them with a simple Scorching Suns. Now at the back they have a Mawile, and all we need to do at this point is to reach those player ups, try to make them as low as possible on their HP levels, and at this point I'm just gonna go ahead and let anything they throw come in. So here comes now the Ice Beam to finish off that poor Mawile, and I'm pretty sure that they cannot farm down right on time with those bubbles. I believe they do 2 damage to each other, so yeah, that is definitely that. And another move is coming up, the player up from my end, and since they get here to a move, I'm pretty comfortable that I can reach to the next Scorching Suns, because even if they have 100 energy, full energy on that Azumarill, they cannot reach to back-to-back Ice Beams, so we can still grab the victory with our Hyperion. That is gonna be all for today, trainers. Thank you for watching and for staying till the end. Just be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, become a member, leave a comment below, or just simply head over to the next video that I have prepared for you over here, and I will catch you up later into the next one.